Bad driver. We all know some stereotypes about Asians. Specifically, there's a stereotype about Asian women and driving. As with other stereotypes, I was determined to never fit the bill. But I am here to tell on myself, or rather, I am here to tell on the writer. Here follows the story of how I, Amanda Shih, driver's license number 245 redacted, perpetuated the stereotype of Asian women being bad drivers. It was spring of 2011. I was to start working a job I needed to commute for, even though I wasn't quite graduating when I was supposed to. That's a story for another time when I successfully dismantled the stereotype of academic excellence by model minorities. My mom was excited to help me shop for my car. I braced myself for a boring but perfectly safe and cheap and serviceable car. Not quite a hoopty, but nothing fancy. When my mom's at the wheel, I know better than to expect something exciting. Within a day, she caught wind of a used Honda Civic. In no time, I laid eyes on the car. It's not a Honda Civic. It's a silver 2001 Honda Prelude. If you're not familiar, Honda Preludes are infinitely cooler than Honda Civics. It's a sporty little coupe with angles in all the right places. The car was gorgeous, fine, downright show-stopping, outfitted with thumping bass in the sound system and a sunroof to boot. I couldn't believe I had the chance to own it, to drive it. Somehow it became mine. Luda, that's what I named her. An homage to, well, you get it. There were times I was in the streets, people pulled up next to me, rolled down their window, and visibly nodded at my car. I let driving Luda around get to my head. I was no longer that girl who peed her pants in the second grade in her first week at a new school. I was motherfucking Amanda Shih, my metaphorical big dick swinging. In 2011, before BDE was a phrase, mind you, with my speakers blaring Zero or Chameleonaire or Adele. I felt my ruler straight, bowl cut having, mismatched hand-me-down clothes with glasses as big as my face wearing, elementary school self melt away. I felt that if I looked back at my yearbooks from the year 2000, I would see the photo evidence of that awkward kid fade away and be replaced by a sunglasses-wearing, smirk-having 11-year-old. As if somehow my tood in the lewd could go back in time and make me the coolest kid in school. At the height of my luditude, I was absolutely obnoxious. One Sunday afternoon, I drove down Westheimer looking for a coffee shop to work out of. Speakers blaring at maximum volume. Windows and sunroof down, of course. After some time riding around, I decided to give Agora a try. Do you ever do that thing when you're feeling yourself, where you imagine what you would look like if you were in a movie? No? You're not full of yourself? Oh, well, I was doing that. I drove into the driveway of the porch at Agora, past the people sitting outside, speakers turned down just a few clicks of the knob so that I was still cool and only slightly obnoxious, as opposed to being straight up rude to the patrons chatting away on a calm Sunday afternoon. As I was pulling into the parking lot, I saw a BMW parked by the wall, right past the porch. I was pretty sure that meant there were no spots in the parking lot, but I drove in just to check. My suspicions were confirmed, and I made a buttery smooth 3-point turn to leave the parking lot, with the thought that I could pull up right next to the porch and park there. I pulled out past the porch so that I could back up into my target spot, music still blaring, my head up my ass after my perfect 3-point turn that no one witnessed. I forgot to look. Forgot that just seconds before, I had noticed the parked BMW there. Naturally, the rear of my car crunched into the BMW's headlights, and then some. I stopped. I turned my music all the way down. With my lutitude now limp and tucked like the tail of a dog in shame, I climbed out of my prelude. I didn't need to imagine what this part looks like in a movie. The people on the porch had a front row seat to this drama, this drive-in theater of sorts. A man from the porch popped out of his chair and then plodded down the front steps to exit the porch and then prowled up to me. Audience participation at its finest. We exchanged insurance information. I apologized profusely. He was just nice enough, but he was visibly vibrating, ever so slightly seething with anger. I was certain he thinks I'm a whole asshole and an ass, and perhaps some other choice words, which I know I was. And then, even though I had not gotten coffee, I made my exit, my attitude still a tail tucked between my legs, my ears downturned, my speakers then playing Vanessa Carlton meekly. I had brought dishonor to modern Asian American women everywhere. A few months from that day, as I drove down Fannin in Luda, a truck to the left of me suddenly sped up. A green sedan running their stop sign appeared in my peripheral. Next thing I know, my precious Luda has been T-boned by the front driver wheel. People were mentally shaken, but physically everyone was okay. I climbed out of the wreckage and out of my prelude self. Nowadays, I stick to my bike as much as I can. Some days, I do still whip out my lutitude. The mini speaker in my frame bag blares while the wind runs through my hair, under my helmet. I get a little too bold and weave through traffic. I'm pretty sure, though, even if my head is up my ass instead of my helmet, I won't need to check twice when parking.
Okay, y'all, this has been Grown Up Story Time. Just a couple quick things to wrap it up. Oh, that was beautiful. Okay. We're going to do the call and response again. Don't go. Don't go. You can go. All right, I enjoyed that too much. Okay, are y'all ready? Do you feel ready? Yes. Luda? 2. Yeah! I'm a happy? So, mostly, yeah. Don't say it if it's not true for you. Okay. Slightly dented? Finger! Oh. Come on. Yeah, really listening. Come on. Don't mess with? Okay. Okay. I'm trying to think of a good one. This is fucked up. Rest in peace. We love. What's the medieval word? Fuckery. Yeah, fuckery. And ADHD. Great job. Y'all are a really generous audience. Thank you so much for letting me have fun with you tonight, being amazing listeners, living up to the GUST standard. You too can fall in love with GUST on the back of your program, as you have heard already, unless you relate, which thanks for being here. No shame. There is the due date for the next GUST story submission, which is April 2nd, a fine Tuesday in spring in Texas. You can also find some friends of GUST, their Instagram, Grown Up Storytime email, and you can see my band's Instagram at the bottom if you want to look at that. Check it out. And thank you so much for being here. Tip your bartenders well. There's merch. Give it up for yourself.
I can't stop thinking.